Surviving stress during life's challenges or crisis is generally serious stuff, but enough of that already. Today I want to share with you my top 6 silly essentials in my crisis kit. These are the things that make me happy and keep me sane when the going gets really tough. Of course, there are more, but join me as I unpack my kit and hopefully get you thinking about what fun and silly stuff you could add to yours. I'm on my way for a walk, but the wind is blowing incredibly, so I'm not sure if we're going to go very far. I'm the Forest Fairy. Welcome to my corner of the woods where I'm rebuilding, revamping, redesigning a magical life and hopefully inspire you to gather your own fairy dust. Hello everyone, I hope you're having an excellent week. The sun's out here, and as you can hear, although I'm still going through some stuff, I'm feeling much better. I actually berated myself soundly for sounding so negative in the intro of my last conversation, A Tough Life Challenge is Teaching Me 3 Valuable Principles. The conversation does have some very valuable principles for someone going through something. So if you haven't listened, just skip the intro and get into the meaty parts. Today's conversation is different, and it's all about 6 small and perhaps silly essentials I need when surviving stress. All positive vibes, nothing too deep, nothing too serious, but all part of redesigning a magical life. Make sure you stick to the end. The last one may have you smiling. Please remember to be kind and considerate, even if you strongly disagree with either my view or that of someone commenting below. Yes, laughter and all its forms, giggling, chuckling, sniggering, hooting, roaring, howling, and even crying with laughter. I just love to laugh. And even in a crisis like I find myself now, there's always something to laugh about or at, even if it's just at myself. Us South Africans can turn anything into a hilarious joke or a viral going meme. For example, when my daughter realized how cash-strapped I am at the moment, she nonchalantly immediately said, "Well, this is enforced diet of sorts." You would think. But no, what is it about carbs that has you reaching for them when it gets tough? Please enlighten me. Like the John Denver song, Sunshine on My Shoulders makes me happy, sunshine in my eyes makes me cry. I'm very privileged to live in a part of the world where we have a lot of sunshine. Although I will admit the winters in my new location are very different from up north. Here it's a Mediterranean type climate, stormy, wet and cold in the winter, while the rest of the country, the winters are very bracing in the mornings and evenings with beautiful sunshine and bright blue skies in between. This has made me appreciate sunshine even more, and when the sun is shining, I make a point of getting up from my desk every so often to bask in it for a while. Being in the sun has numerous benefits, and that makes you happier and healthier by reducing stress and depression, strengthening your immune system, and improving your sleep. All important factors when you're going through a crisis. I've even heard that there are people who don't eat food at all, but rather absorb their energy straight from the sun. They stand for hours gazing at it. I kind of imagine they live in a desert area somewhere and just stand and look at the sun. Now, before you ask, I don't really know if this is true and if they do lose their eyesight from the gazing. Let us know in the comments below if you know more about these sun gazers. I've always slept with 2 pillows, with the second one being my comfort pillow, much like a child's blankie. It's familiar, fluffy, and symbolizes home to me even if I'm far away. I realized how attached I was to it one day when, clearing up after my husband had passed, my family convinced me to replace my old and worn pillow. But it wasn't long before I regretted this decision terribly. It was as if the one stable and steadfast thing in my life had gone, and I vowed only to ever replace it when things were good in my life. I've since realized that this attachment probably stems from childhood separation anxiety, going to boarding school thousands of kilometers away from home at about 7, and it seems to help me navigate life and strong feeling and calms me with its familiarity. Again, I would probably be a lovely case for the psychologist. Years ago, when the series Survivor was so popular, we would often discuss over dinner what our 2 luxury items would be. Mine would always include my pillow and a sun hat, neither of which I think they would have allowed. What item, however trivial or silly, is an essential part of your crisis kit? I want to say tea and peanut butter sarmies, but I'm trying not to do so much bread, so it's just peanut butter on a spoon. The organic crunchy type, of course, so that you have a mixture of textures, the creamy smoothness with the crunch. Now, the science behind this is that the protein content in peanuts and peanut butter is a source of tryptophan, which in turn provides the building blocks for serotonin. Serotonin is often known as the happy hormone because it contributes to our well-being and happiness and helps us relax. Maureen from Head to Heart, I'll add the link below, explains that it's also a certain phytonutrient that helps to reduce anxiety and stress and even lessen depression, and that may be why I reach for this nutrient-dense, high-fat yumminess. And of course, I can't do without tea. The calming ritual of choosing a type and flavor, the seeping of it and then slowly savoring it. It's a ritual filled with mindfulness and slowing down. I love lying on the table on my stoop staring out at the moon and stars at night, imagining I'm absorbing the healing energy of the moon and stars and just wondering what on earth is out there. Is someone looking back at our little blue planet wondering who inhabits it? Can they see me looking up? I'm slowly learning more and more about celestial space and can already identify quite a few planets, stars and constellations. Only confusing thing is that they keep moving around. Nevertheless, I find it calming and peaceful and sometimes very cold to pop out in the evenings and mornings to gaze up and just be amazed. I've seen numerous satellites, some shooting stars, and am fascinated by the Pleiades star cluster. One early morning I even saw a Starlink internet constellation. But mostly I just gaze and wonder. Yes, I know this is an unexpected essential during a crisis, and yes, I'm very privileged to have one, although I'm actually storing it for someone. So hear me out. I have found that over the years I think terrible, nasty, negative thoughts when washing dishes by hand. I stand there regardless of the view and become Golem from The Lord of the Rings, thinking awful things and becoming this terrible creature. And it's not just me. Several women I've spoken to admit that their thoughts turn vile when they wash dishes by hand. None of this cheerful singing in the rain homebody stuff. In challenging times, I definitely don't need to add more negativity to my life, and that is why I use my dishwasher. And to support this, I'll quote two well-known phrases. The first is an ancient Latin warfare phrase, which says, "Leave no one behind." And the second is Patrick Swayze's famous Dirty Dancing quote, "No one puts baby in the corner." So that's it. These are a few of the wacky, fun and silly things I need when times get tough. What counts as your fun essentials during such times? Let us know in the comments below and add to the lightheartedness of this conversation. On a more serious note, remember to check out How I Navigate Tough in the Conversation. A Tough Life Challenge is teaching me 3 valuable principles. In the meantime, wishing you a week filled with laughter, tea and sprinklings of fairy dust. Until next time, goodbye.